Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast news of the week for the real first week this time of January 5th to January 11th. And we have a couple pieces of news, and then we have Canadian Nationals, which we're going to recap here in the News of the Week episode. So there are a couple of withdrawals, and there are a couple of withdrawals that were pretty major that are coming up for Europeans and for continents. Sara Conti, Niccolò Macchi, they're out of Europeans, and there are people saying that Sara Conti has some kind of injury, but she has not confirmed it. Nobody has confirmed it, so all of that is hearsay. Hopefully it is, whatever it is minor enough that she's going to be ready for the Olympics. And also Conti Macchi for the team event is going to be very crucial for Italy's chances at getting on the podium. And so if somehow it takes them longer to recover, then the team event picture becomes a little bit different. And then on the four continents side, Cheon Kim is out. I don't know if did we hear any reasons for why she's out?
No, I haven't heard anything. She's just appeared off the entry list.
It's sad after the issues that she had at Nationals. You wonder if the injury that she's been nursing all season long is sort of like bothering her. That effectively finishes out her season unless she gets into the world team at some point. But Ah Seung-yeon gets to go to four continents this time around, and she gets to then sort of put her season to bed at a major championship. Hopefully Cheon Kim recovers, and I do hope that she is back in the future, but we have not heard either way. Should we talk about Canadians?
Let's do it.
I haven't
caught a minute
Michelle
of
was
it,
like,
but
I did not see any of it.
I do plan to watch it all, but I have been home for almost 24 hours, and I've spent most of that time sleeping and laying on the couch, not watching TV. So I do plan to watch it the next couple days. And I did get play-by-play throughout from both Jackie and our friend Barb. So I have a little idea of what happens. But
let's start with some of actually all of them were they're either very interesting or they were very good, and or they were very good. Maybe we work back. What'd you watch?
I did watch Bruce Waddle on your computer at practice.
You did. That is
and
true.
As great of a single skater as he is, we need him back in ice dancing.
Yes.
He's so talented, and please come back to us, Bruce.
Well, then let's start with the men, because it was coming in. There was a lot of, you wonder what was going to happen with this one spot, and it didn't disappoint. You know, like all season long, there's been really good skating from a number of the guys, and top three were really good. Steven Gogolev ends up winning by 20 points over Roman Sadovsky, and Alexa Rakic gets third, Wesley Chu fourth, Keegan Messing fifth. It was that group of five was really very strong. Keegan, let's start with him. He had some little mistakes in the short program that actually took him down to seventh, and he made a comeback in the free skate, but the free skate was like half popped jumps. And so if you had basically added those four triples back into the program, obviously it's all hypothetical and ideal, but he would have been right up there with the top three, not surprisingly, but he gave it a shot.
Mhm.
We sort of knew coming in that it was going to be a long shot given how he's been skating, especially versus how everybody else has been skating this season.
Mhm.
And my guess is he probably made the comeback thinking it wasn't going to be this competitive,
Yeah.
and it became much more competitive than really any of us
Mhm.
thought it would be this season. And it was great to
Yeah.
see.
I also realized that all the time I was covering Keegan during his competitive career, he was really underselling the amount of work he was putting into his skating because he would come to an event and be like, "Yeah, I had to stop skiing and I just trained a little bit more in a couple weeks coming to this event." And he'd go out and do an amazing free skate. And that's why I kind of thought, well, he looks great in his, skating on raw ice videos outdoors. But how much work can it be? But
Right.
he didn't quite get there in the way that I thought he would.
I mean, it was really the consistency that was the
Yeah.
problem, right? Like he got
Yeah.
everything back, and he even got a quad Lutz back a couple months ago at some point,
Mhm.
and it just wasn't there.
Mhm.
Speaking of comebacks, Wesley Chu had a great comeback, was second after the short program, and then
Mhm.
it didn't really connect in the free skate. Ended up fourth. Alexa Rakic skated a near flawless free skate and gets himself a four continent spot as a result, and a bronze medal. I mean, frankly, that program would have won
Mhm.
nationals in one of the years.
Yeah.
The over the past few years, it was really good. Roman Sadovsky had a couple errors in the short program. Was it one error or two errors? I think two errors in a short program that he had to come back from, and he made a very strong comeback. But the the difference between him and Steven Gogolev in the short program, it was just too much to overcome, and he finishes second. The Gogo-Levissance continues, and the Gogo Olympics are happening. So much go-go.
Go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
Yeah. I really loved the explosion of pictures of him on Twitter after he won from the picture of him the last time he was on the national podium in Canada. He was like 2 feet shorter than he is now.
Right.
And, yeah, it was exciting, and it's exciting for him to have come back that way and come back so strong.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
for
mhm.
sure. I
So,
mean,
he's gonna be doing the team event.
yeah, exactly. Everybody's gonna be doing a team
Mhm.
event. Um, I mean, almost everybody will probably end up doing the team event. My guess is,
Mhm.
um, it's great to see. I mean, it's also just great to see him healthy again,
Mhm.
and you know, healthy, seemingly happy with skating,
Mhm.
and feeling like he has a direction. The work he's done with Benoit Richaud has been
Mhm.
really good, and
Yeah.
that's just he's been he's been a really good, just general influence on him. It seems like so.
Mhm.
Let's go to the other singles event.
I did read the quotes that came out before the women's event, which were hilarious and amazing. Maddie Skis is saying, "Oh, I'm really happy for Gabby Daleman. It's so impressive how she's come back, and I'm, really happy for her. But over my dead body, is anyone else going to the Olympics but me?" And then
It's
Gabby's like, "I'm a witch, and you can't get rid of me," which is an Adam Rippon quote from 10 years ago.
I just the sheer difference between what was being said at US
Mhm.
nationals among the women and what was
Yes.
being said at Canadians. I mean, to be fair, it was
Mhm.
one spot they were fighting for, right?
Mhm.
I don't think Gabby and Maddie are mortal enemies,
Mhm.
but they wanted to bring the fire. They wanted to bring the
Yeah.
sass, and frankly, both of them brought the fire and the
Mhm.
sass. And uh, what was very interesting was after the short program, it was Min So Kwon who was
Mhm.
leading, and
Yeah, Maddie off the top out of the top 3 with her double loop.
yeah, I mean, doubled the loop.
Mhm.
Gabby, stepped out of her Lutz, and
Mhm.
so both with a couple of little issues. Sarah Mo Dupuis was up there as well,
Mhm.
third after turning out of her triple toe.
Mhm.
So it was a really close race after the short program. 2 points between Min So Kwon in first and Maddie Skeezus in fourth.
Mhm.
And Maddie Skeezus had, like, she knew, especially based on how Gabby has been skating and also how Sarah Mode has been skating this
Mhm.
season, that she needed to be really good.
Yeah.
And she was the one who kicked it off the last four, and she just laid it down. I mean, probably the best free skate of her life,
I can't
maybe
wait to
outs
watch.
I know.
Better than the
Um,
team event in Beijing?
I was gonna say maybe outside of the
Wow.
team event.
Okay.
Um, she did pop her double axel at the
Mm.
end, and I
Okay.
literally, like, I think it was happening right before the Olympic team announcements for the US. And
Mhm.
so I was like doing a lot of gesturing while that was
Mhm.
all happening. Um, but she did it. I mean, she just laid it down. And so, it was then up to Sarah Mode, who went next, and then
Mhm.
Gabby, who then went afterwards, and then Minso, who went afterwards, to match or top that.
Mhm.
And Sarah Mode fell apart and ended up eighth. It was sad to see, especially after the breakthrough season. But then Gabby came on, very first jump, doubles the triple lutz.
Mm.
And so it was double lutz, triple toe. The rest of her program was very good. I mean,
Mhm.
I think the only other real issue was a step out of her loop, and then she
Mm.
also singled an axle.
Mhm.
So kind of she matched the single axle for
Mhm.
for for Maddie, but
A
then
little
the
more
double the
damaging.
the double lutz was really damaging, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the big issue,
It's
and
brutal.
she lost by 4 points.
Mm.
And what is a triple Lutz worth? A triple Lutz is
Mm.
worth 6 points. What is a double Lutz worth? A double Lutz is worth like 2 points. That's your 4 points right there. I mean, it
That's
was
so
four and a half
rough.
points.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be so proud of
Yeah.
that comeback.
Mhm.
She went from like not knowing whether or not she was going to be able to walk again, or like
Mhm.
learning to walk again, like all the surgeries, all the starts and stops, and for her to come back like this,
Mhm.
um, it's heartbreaking, but it's also got to be somewhat satisfying. It when she
Yeah.
looks back when she looks back
Yeah.
later in hindsight, right? That
Get on
she
the
was able
podium
to
and
give
yeah.
it her all. Yeah, it still was one of the best free skates that she's done.
Mhm.
You know, so that was it. And then Min So Kwon closed it out, and had it not been for a couple unders
Mhm.
and the edge calls on her lets, she would have
Mm.
won nationals.
Wow. As
Yeah,
expected.
she skated
She was
really
close.
well. Yeah,
Good for her.
she skated really well. The components weren't quite as good as Gabby's or
Mhm.
Maddie's, just a little bit smaller in her
Mhm.
skating. She's a beautiful skater.
Yeah.
Um, but the lutzes, all three lutzes that she did in the short and the free skate got called an
Mm.
E, and it wasn't even,
Oh,
yeah, so the
come
E
on.
was just, I know. No, it was very clear.
Oh,
It
okay.
really was very clear. Um, and so the E takes
Mhm.
down the base value
Yeah.
and is an extra uh grade of execution thing. And then there was an under on the triple sow and a Q on the triple toe. So it was just like
Mm.
a bunch of stuff that added
Yeah.
together. So that's what happened.
Well, hopefully she gets released and can compete
I
internationally soon.
know. I know.
I was thinking maybe South Korea and Canada could do a swap. Canada gets Minsole and they send South Korea a pair guy. That would be, you know, would work out for everybody.
Maybe that's what they're holding out for.
Mhm.
Um yeah, it was a great event,
Mhm.
and it matched the sassy competitiveness that went into it,
Mhm.
and it was nice. It was nice to see, and it was very sad, just like kind of like in the men's competition. It was sad that the top two couldn't go, because they
Mhm.
both deserve to go
Yeah.
based on how they've been
Yeah.
skating this season.
Yeah.
Um, what is also interesting, though, we'll talk about this as well. They have not released a world team roster yet for
Interesting.
Canada,
Interesting.
and you wonder if it's and they usually or not they usually they sometimes will wait a while to do that, and so you wonder if that's part of the equation right now.
Hmm.
Okay, but pairs,
What happened? What happened? One event
Deanna's.
where was it the men's free skate that was happening? And I just got a message from Barb, and she was like, "Deanna
Yeah,
Max meltdown,
it
third
was
in the
a
free skate. They lost." I was like,
it
"What?"
was a it was a total meltdown, and they were lucky that they had a strong short program.
Wow.
So Deanna, I found out after the fact,
Yeah.
not only had two beautiful Oscar de la Renta new dresses,
Mhm.
but also was sick again at
Oh my
Canadian
gosh.
Nationals.
Girl.
Yeah, girl, you need to go and stop celebrating the holidays and just be a
Yeah.
hermit.
Did she even? I think she just needs to stay inside and drink
I know.
soup.
Oh, poor Deanna. I mean, she
Mhm.
works so hard, and
Yeah.
then you know that when she got sick, she was like, "Oh my God, I cannot
Not
believe this.
again.
Not again." Better sick now than sick at the
Mhm.
Olympics. So,
Mhm.
I think I think they were probably one relieved to just get on the Olympic team, but
Mhm.
two, like they're not gonna blame it on, you know,
Mhm.
it was a bad skate because they were sick,
Mhm.
and that was that. But it really was a meltdown. It
Mm.
really was a meltdown.
Damn.
And you could tell, like when I was watching it, I thought it was Max who was the issue because he
Mhm.
was the one who was making mistakes on the jumps.
Mhm.
But then afterwards, you maybe realize that he was probably too busy, sort of watching
Boring.
her and
Yeah.
worrying about her and trying to not, overthrow her or anything like that. And so all of this stuff just ended up having issues, and they haven't skated that poorly in a while. And,
I mean,
I talked about the
yeah.
fact that they had a strong short program, but there was a case for them to be third here
Wow.
because Kellyanne Laurent and Luca
Yeah.
Etier skated lights out like they did at Skate America.
Good for them. Good for them. Um, man. Um, I mean, I was gonna say don't compete anymore, but I'm presuming that Skate Canada's not sending Deanna to Four Continents, so
No, no
hopefully she
four
can rest
continents.
and
No four continents
recuperate.
for Deanna.
I will
Um,
say the Oscar de la Renta short program dress reveal, I saw that on Twitter, was breathtaking.
I
The
love
way she
that
unzipped her
dress.
jacket, it was like,
Yeah, I
bam.
know. She was like, I don't care if I'm sick. I'm gonna serve face and
Mhm.
unzip my jacket so it can be done
Yeah.
in slow motion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. But that means
Mhm.
Leah Pereira Trent Michaud national champions.
Yeah. Bless up. And they got rid of their Mission free skate, right? That has been
Yeah.
such a stumbling block for them this season. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
program, but
And
they
it
just
really is a
couldn't.
beautiful program.
Yeah. And I love the, like, Grishik Platov styled costumes with the cross on them, and yeah, but it just wasn't working for them somehow, and so
Yeah.
that was a smart choice.
Back to Gladiator,
Yeah.
which was a really good program for them.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, I am sad about them not doing the mission again, but it
Mhm.
wasn't working.
Yeah.
And you actually wonder if Deanna and Max are potentially going to go back to the vampire program because
I would.
Oscar
I
de la
mean,
Renta.
yeah, and, selfishly, I love Carmina Burana, I love it, but I would love to see that, short program from 0304 again, the Donnez-moi one.
Yes, it is so good.
The way they
It is so
performed
good.
that in Montreal Worlds, like, got into my bloodstream. I mean, for days, for weeks afterward, I was thinking about that.
I love how you called it '03 to '04 because,
Oh, I did?
Deanna was,
23, 24. I do that a lot. I don't mean to.
I mean, Deanna could have been competing back then. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So that was pairs, and Lorraine and Etienne again. They
Mhm.
had the skate of their lives in the
Good for
free.
them.
They had mistakes in the short. Leah and Trent also had mistakes, but they were
Mhm.
generally minor-ish mistakes, and so um, you know, I was texting with Trent afterwards, and
Mhm.
one, he was thrilled. Two, he was like, "That just means nowhere to go but up, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the attitude was good, and then we ended up with uh the dance event.
Yeah.
And we got some national scoring in the
Yeah.
dance event, as just as we got at U.S. Nationals, just
You
as
know
we got
what?
at French
It
Nationals.
happens.
They're
It
just like
happens.
outdoing. They're trying to
Yeah.
outdo each other, and
Yeah.
there were a lot of level fours in the
Mhm.
rhythm dance.
Mhm.
And then the free dance was, I think Piper and Paul got a whole bunch of tens.
Mhm.
Uh, so they got tens across the board for presentation.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. So it was as expected. Gilles Poirier wins. LaJoie Legat gets second, and then it
Mhm.
was a close race between L'Oreal Legac and Fabri Ayer after
Mhm.
the rhythm dance. They were separated by half a point,
Mhm.
and then L'Oreal Legac made the margin. It was 4 points, and they ended up getting the third place spot and the Olympic spot.
Mhm. I haven't watched any of it yet. I plan to watch it all, but I did appreciate Scott Moyer's mad dash from the Slush Puppy Center for the junior dance events to the Enterprise Center in St.
Yep,
Louis for Christina and Anthony's
yep.
rhythm dance and free dance, and there were other teams that were there, and then back to the Slush Puppy Center for the free dance. So he was all up and down the East Coast, and it was very effective. He got all of his teams on the
I
team.
don't even
So
I don't even know how you get from St. Louis to Gatineau. It's got to be at least two flights and then some.
yeah, I don't know.
So Scott Moyer, and Scott was one of those coaches who kept coming over to me to make sure he knew what the Canadian results were.
Yeah.
So
That
he
reminds
was
me
he was
of
very intent.
because like we had Canadians and U.S. Nationals the same week because it's an Olympic year. But usually Canadians is first, and then the next week is U.S. Nationals and Europeans. And you would always have Nathan Chen popping over to ask you how Trusova was doing at Europeans. I remember he set like a national record in the short program, and he came into the press conference. He didn't go to his seat. He didn't go say hi to anybody. He went directly to you, and he was like, "Jackie, what's going on at Europeans? How many quads did Trusova do?"
He was fascinated by Trusova.
Yeah.
Fascinated, for sure.
I mean, we all were.
No, yeah,
I
we all
remain.
for many reasons. So when we digress. So that was news of the week for the week of January 5th to January 11th.